down. I appreciate all of you helping me in that regard, because it creates an emotionally charged endeavor here where I'm loving what I'm doing, but I don't want any of you to get hurt. And if you're pushing the button and you're trying to, impress me, you're not impressing me. Even if you make a lot of money, I'm going to be angry. Like if someone's been trading for a while before I started this mentorship, and some of you obviously have, and you're doing okay, that's one thing. But anyone that's just started training with me this year, and you're trying to do what I'm teaching in a funded account or a live account, please don't tell me about it. I don't want to know. Okay, because every time someone tells me they're making money, my first question is, how long you been doing it? Because if it's something that you just did, it's your first time, then okay, I understand where you're going with it, and I understand your excitement. But if it's something you've been doing for a while and you're able to land that, then okay, yeah, I'll like that, I'll appreciate it, and I can high five that, yeah. But I don't know how much time you've invested in this, and I don't want to inspire you to want to be doing that when you don't know how to trade yet. Because the whole point of me doing this mentorship with you all this year is to teach you, number one, how to read price. When I was doing my mentorship that was paid for, it was all about watching price. Don't press your demo account. Don't do this. Don't do that, because the outcome is then emotional. And now we're looking through that looking glass at these candlesticks with an expectation of, I have to be right because now I have money behind it. Because if I'm wrong, I'm losing money. You see the difference there? It's really hard to justify how that isn't the best advice. Like it is the best advice, but it doesn't feel like the best advice when you have something to sell and you want people to come to your bullshit and try to buy it, whether it be a mentorship or some horse shit, pseudo algo box bullshit, because that ain't algorithmic. That's retail stuff. And when you have these competitions for everyone's attention and you're trying to inspire them to go out there and trade, unfortunately, I know enough to know that the average person doesn't have the mental faculties to do this, let alone be doing it quickly and successfully, regardless of what medium or approach to trading. Even mine, which I think is superior to every fucking thing. I mean, I'm giving you the marketplace. I'm telling you it. I'm showing it to you. I'm proving it to you. There ain't a motherfucker out there doing it. Dave, we'll see this week, won't we? the the worst thing you can do is be inspired by me or anyone else to go out there and try to trade and feel like you're ready. Because these same people that tell you to do that, they're falling on their face when they try to do it right in front of you in their live streams. Or they won't ever do it. They won't ever step out there and tell you what they think real time every fucking day, because they know they will fail, and they'll pull some comedy show to try to cover it up. No, there's no emotion. There's no emotion. This is what it is. Market's going to do this or the market's going to do that. If you don't know, you say you don't know. But you better not say I don't know every day, because then guess what? You don't know. And there's a lot of people that are upset right now because your attention is being placed with what I'm sharing and what you're doing right now. You're listening to me talk about something that to them, you shouldn't be listening to this. You should be listening to them, because they're showing you something that has a price tag on it. I have nothing with a price tag on it. I have the truth. I'm showing it to you. I'm proving it to you. So when you look at me and what I'm sharing, you're looking through that looking glass, and you should be seeing fucking proof, evidence. There's a lot of YouTubers out there that I hope I can help. And I'm not asking any of you to represent me, not even to advertise for me, nothing. I'm not looking for that. I'm not looking for that at all. But there are a great number of you that genuinely do not know what the hell you're doing. And some of them are very entertaining, crashing and burning. And you know who you are, Texas Pete. But there's other ones that are very sincere out there, that they are cordial to their audience. They're very respectful, modest, and they just aren't doing very well. They're not really doing well. And like, I want to save them. Okay. I got this white knight complex. And some of you men might know what this feels like. I had the same thing with my first wife. She had a lot of issues. And I wanted to be, the knight in shining armor. I wanted to help her. I wanted to save her from our issue. And that's pretty much at the core of my heart why I teach the way I do. I am sympathetic to all of you because I know exactly how all of you feel. You feel like you're alone. You feel like you need support, and who the hell are you going to get the support from? Your friends and family don't know anything about this shit, and they don't believe that it can be possible. And it's not the same thing just reading other people's tweets and reading other people's social media stuff, or listening to people with their sports cars and their vacations and shit, but they're not showing you them executing trades. Here's a trade I took. Remember, you're looking through that looking glass. What are you seeing when you look around? Me included. Through that looking glass, are you seeing a reason to invest your time in whatever it is that you're looking at, or in this case, listening to? Because if it is not capturing you, overtaking you, and subduing you, and holding you and your attention, because you see obvious signs of professionalism, precision, logic that makes perfect sense, that is explained before it happens, not ambiguous, not 50-50, not it might do this, it might do that, which is what everybody that doesn't like me will say. But they're leaving out the parts where I say, but this is what I want to have happen. This is what I'm looking for. I'm waiting for this. This is my setup. This is my trade. If I'm wrong, this is what it's going to do, and I won't be in the trade. I won't be hurt by it because I'm looking for this trade to unfold. That's what you want to learn from a person that can obviously outline what makes this work. How will you fail? How can I do certain steps to avoid failing? Avoiding entirely is impossible. But much like when you're in flight school and you're trying to learn how to fly, what's one of the things they put you through as a pilot? You ever think about that? They take you up there and they tell you to turn the fucking engine off while you're in the fucking air. Like, what? Are you kidding me? But hey, they got to teach you how to do what? A controlled landing. You might take off. It might be beautiful. You're up there in the sky. You're sailing around, looking down, thinking this is great. And then your instructor says, "Oh, by the way, today's the day where we tell you to turn the fucking engine off. Figure it out." And I'm sure that there's a great deal of anxiety when that happens. I'm sure that, everyone that thinks that they're going to be ready for that moment, because everyone that goes into flight school knows that that's coming. And maybe they don't have it unannounced. I'm trying to, be funny, obviously, because I'm not a pilot. But I couldn't do that. Like, I honestly, I know I'd flip out. There's no way. First of all, I could not have the focus. You wouldn't want me. You wouldn't want Ratchet ICT flying your ass anywhere in an airplane, because we're probably going to get down real fast, and not the down that you want to get down with. And so then imagine that same thing occurring in trading. That's what's happening when you get out there with live funds, live money, listening to people that tell you to get out there and trade sooner than you should, when they themselves can't prove that they're doing it right either. And you can't build your faith in anyone based on, here's a trade I took. Here's a trade I took. Approach to selling something is the worst possible thing in the world. But unfortunately, in this industry, looking through the looking glass, you're going to look for what you want to see, especially if you're really new. And what I try to do is be, number one, responsible as a mentor. I'm not trying to take anyone down the primrose lane. And if I was a fucking fraud and a failure at doing this, you would have seen it by now. You absolutely would have seen it by now. My calls would have been failing miserably. They would not be going exactly where I said it was going to go when I said it was going to go there. So I'm a little bit different. I'm cut from a different cloth to everybody else. And that's fine. That's exactly how I want it to be. I'm not going to teach everything because that makes me who I am. I'm not obligated to do that, but I can teach the rest of my life, and that's fine. That's great. I'm keeping my promise. But I didn't accept this responsibility under the guise that I have to what? Teach everything I know, because I can't. But what I've already taught, if I stopped right now, you are light years ahead of every fucking Mickey Mouse bullshit that's out there. You literally have an unbelievable arsenal. But much like when you first handled a firearm, oh, here we are. We're talking about topics. I don't like that. Look past it, okay? You never handled an AR-15. Never broke it down, never cleaned it, never did any of that stuff. Well, until you do it, you don't know, right? And that's what this is like. You have to be conditioned, you have to be trained. And then after a while, it becomes second nature. You just know, you know. And maybe some of you are going to have to take a little bit more time than just this year. And guess what? That's absolutely acceptable. It's acceptable. And you have to give yourself permission, because if you wrestle with that or fearful, what if I don't learn it? Because I've told you there's a deadline to me doing this everyday live streaming stuff. Obviously, you've seen this week. It wasn't every day, was it? I told you prepare yourself, because there's sometimes my personal life may take precedence. Remember, I'm not obligated to do this. But you're going to find that if you're pressing yourself into a time delivery of you being successful, when you do that, and when you do this with everything that you try to rush through, like weight loss or gaining muscle or trying to get flexible, whatever it is, you can't force a timeline, deadline. This is when it's going to have to be. You don't know. You don't know when you're going to hit that weight goal. You don't know when you're going to get that bench press goal. You don't know when you're going to get that threshold of crossing over in your experience where you know you can trade live funds. None of you can time that. None of you can do that. None of you. Why? Because you have no idea what the variable rate of understanding is going to be for you. It's all unique to you. You can't say, learn it in 40 days, learn it in 120 days, learn it in 6 months, 1 week workshop. That's nonsense. That's absolute nonsense. You can't do those things and expect the outcome to be universally the same. Absolutely not. And it's not even going to be in the majority. That's why these people that market that kind of stuff, they fail. That's why they're failing. And they don't like what they're seeing with me, because they see me teaching with a demo. They see people going out, what I'm teaching with a demo, they're going out there and making 6 figures with real money and being interviewed by companies that paid them that money. That's hurting their ass. Their assholes are chapped. And I love that. There's nothing you can do about that. You can't argue it. You can't wrestle with it. I mean, I guess you can wrestle with it, but you're going to lose. And all of you that are paying attention and looking around, you're seeing folks do that. And I have an inbox full of shit like that now. And you're all going to see their faces. And I'm going to do my best to have a outline. The same questions I'm going to ask, I'm going to let each person know what they are, so that way they're not put on the spot. They can talk freely. They have already collected their thoughts about how I'm going to, because I don't want to be longer than an hour. That way, I'm going to ask the questions and I'm going to sit there and let them talk. I don't need to be heard. I want them to tell me what they've done, what their routine is. How did they get started? What was their biggest fear that they overcame? Where's their goals and what's their plan on getting there? These are the types of questions I'm going to ask. And everybody's going to have shit different. And that's going to be interesting. I know it's going to, for me, it's going to be, I don't give a shit if anybody else likes it. I'm giving these students the opportunity for me to sit down with them as close as face to face can be. Yes, I will show my face there. And you'll see I have more than one white cap. I have other colors too, guys. I might shave my head because everybody wants to see me bald. Summertime, I might do it. I ain't afraid of it. So the good grief. You'll hear these folks give you their stories and share, and I'm going to treasure that. Like that's exactly what I want this to morph into. I'm doing this because I want all of you to be generous with your story with me. Tell me what it is that you're doing. If you want notoriety, apparently I have an audience that looks at this stuff, and I'm going to share if you want me to. Not that I'm going to just do it, without your blessing, but if you want your socials shared, I'm going to give you the opportunity to do that. So it gives you a stage. If it, like there's a young man out there, Paladin, he's trying to get a course together how to beat these funded accounts and have, all that stuff. He might be teaching some of the stuff that he uses while he's doing that he's learned from me. I don't give a fuck. Okay. I don't care because number one, he's publicly stated that, I had a small part of what he was able to do. And that's wonderful because now they know me. And then when they hear me, they talk about, how did you learn? And I give all the glory to God. That's how I want it. That's the exchange rate here. Okay. That's all I want. But he's trying to build a course or whatever, or some kind of mentorship to get funded and pass them. You know what? Go for it. That's something I'd get behind, say, you know what, do it. And some of you may be wanting to run signal services. And guess what? I have a lot of students that can't do this. When's the last time you heard any educator, any guru, furu tell you they got failed students? Everybody makes money with their bullshit, right? Get the fuck out of here. It's real. I don't lie. The bottom line is this stuff is complex. This skill set isn't going to happen overnight. And a lot of people came to me like they go to anybody else. Give me the 1, 2, 3 fast track. I need to learn how to make money right now. I'm broke. And if you can't do it, you're a fraud. Fuck you. How's that work for you? The bottom line is this. You're going to work your ass off in this industry, no matter what you do. Period. Period. And time is going to be a whole lot more spent than you wanted to spend. It's going to take you longer. It's going to be more effort on your part. You want to learn how to trade? I've already taught you. You want a routine on how to go in and do those things. That's exactly what I'm teaching you this year. A day in and day out. This is what we're looking for. This is what it looks like. This is how it repeats. And we aren't afraid of signals drying up and not working anymore. I know that I'm going to have a setup. And this is what pisses people off that don't like me. I always have something. I always have an ace up my sleeve. You're damn right I do. Because that was a weakness. I needed to know I had more weapons than just a stochastic and a moving average. Because that shit didn't hold up long. And the markets are more dynamic than just one way. You have to have a tool that is useful for any market profile. It doesn't mean that you're going to trade every single time because you have that tool. It just means that you know enough that the thing you're probably going to use if you were less equipped, experienced, you would have tried to use in an environment, which is what most of my students, when they first come to my YouTube channel, they think everything's a fucking optimal trade entry. They think every rally up is going to set up a sell, and every rally down is going to set up a long. And they send me emails. They'll say things in the comment section. I tried the optimal trade entry and I get stopped out. How do you know which one's the optimal trade entry? Well, what are you doing wrong? Looking through the looking glass, you're looking for entries only. You have no context as to what you're doing. There's no narrative being applied to the chart. You haven't even consulted the higher time frame. So is it surprising why you're looking at something on the smallest degree of importance, which is the entry? I've stated this so many times that it's almost like you guys don't want to believe me when I'm being honest. Entry patterns are numerous. There's so many entry techniques that get you into the moves. But there's only one side of the narrative that's going to develop in price. That's it. You're not going to change that. The buying, selling, and pressure doesn't change.